Good morning, ONA family. Welcome to Austin. We are excited that you're here for this annual digital family reunion, so be prepared for an action-packed 3 days. Now, I did this last year, and I pretty much plan to do this every year, but I want to emphasize that greeting of family. Yes, the ONA family, it's not just a word, it truly describes who we are. If you didn't already know, which I'm sure many of you did, the City of Austin's motto is Keep Austin Weird, which I think is pretty appropriate because I would say we're a pretty weird family ourselves. In fact, so weird that our family grew by 1,100 people today with AKA our first-time attendees. Join me in congratulating the 1,100 first-time attendees. All right, and to keep it weird, I have a request. I want to do a family photo. But now what you're thinking, so do me a favor, everyone take out your phone. Let me see if I hear phones coming out. Now what I'm hoping is that you're sitting next to a stranger either to the front of you, left of you, right of you, wherever they're sitting. What we're gonna do is take an ONA selfie. So on the count of 3, gather a couple of people next to you, and I want you to take a selfie. You will hashtag it ONA selfie. And for those of you watching us online, I want you to do that too. Show us that you're watching online. So cluster up, get your selfies together. All right? 1, 2, 3. Remember, hashtag ONA selfie. All right, I told you we were weird. What other conference does that with this many people? One of the things we do want to encourage a lot here is to really get to know each other and keep that family theme alive. We have different things to do that. Trevor mentioned the buttons. We also have this nice Ask Me About conversation starter badge. Make sure that you use this. This is a good conversation starter. I know personally we have a lot of introverts in the room. So use this as a way to engage with your fellow attendees. And as Trevor mentioned earlier, make sure you also use the Guidebook app where you're able to directly message attendees. Now, one of the things we've done a lot this year is listen. We've heard from you about your challenges and the realities of working in journalism today. As these real-life challenges display on the screen behind me, you'll see these are very real. From doing more with less, to pushing digital innovation, to finding solutions to combat disinformation. There has never been a greater need for this annual reunion. Can you relate to any of these challenges? Yes, I expect that everyone will have fun here today, but the great thing about ONA, and this conference in particular, is that connections are made and knowledge is shared to move the industry forward. There are countless stories I've heard of jobs gains, promotions made, projects launched, and new ideas implemented from this very conference. And this year we want to be more intentional about that. Right now, I want you to think about one big idea that you're trying to do to move our industry forward. It could be a big change you're trying to make. It could be one challenge you're determined to solve. It could be something within your organization, a personal project, or a professional development goal. You paid to be here. Essentially, think intentionally about why you are here. Really stop and think about it. Now, I want you to write that down. And what we promise to do is to help you achieve it and hold you accountable in a very, very small but simple way. After this presentation, all attendees will receive an email where, if you choose, you can privately send us what that goal is that you just came up. And we will send you an electronic ONA18 postcard in 90 days to see how you're doing. I also encourage you to share that goal with your fellow attendees here. Hopefully, this small reminder will have a big impact on helping you achieve your goals. Now, just sit back and think for a moment. If 2,500 people here today committed to achieving one big goal to move our industry forward, what would happen and how quickly? While our challenges are great, the ideas, people, and solutions in this room are far greater. And we know this because we know people and ideas spark change. We support people and ideas all year long, and I'm personally blown away by the breadth, depth, and talent of our programs. One example is our Journalism 360 program, which is a global network of storytellers accelerating the understanding and production of immersive journalism. Yesterday, we announced 11 projects awarded $195,000 to experiment in immersive journalism. That money will help develop and expand best practices in immersive storytelling, including narratives, ethics, and production. But they're not the only ones experimenting. Now in its fourth cycle, this summer we awarded over $350,000 to our latest round of grantees for the Challenge Fund for Innovation in Journalism Education, with the goal to hack the journalism curriculum. We have both students and professionals working side by side, working on groundbreaking stories and building innovative products. We also gave an additional $80,000 in grand prizes to previous schools to help them further their work. People and ideas not only change how we use technology or how we do journalism better, but they can also change our own newsroom culture. At the beginning of this year, we launched a new initiative to help newsrooms better diversify their organization through mentoring. Over 125 organizations joined the Journalism Mentorship Collaborative to do just that. In addition, we awarded $70,000 to select fellows to experiment even further in their newsroom. While we have a long way to go in diversity, the JMC participants are taking steps along the way to combat that. You can hear what they learned and get advice on starting your own mentorship program this Friday at 5 p.m. in Grand Ballroom 8. Thanks to our wonderful year-round partners, this year alone, we awarded over $700,000 to fund experimental projects. Please give all of our program partners a round of applause. And just as important as ideas are the people who make them. At ONA, we're proud to have a tradition of supporting the next generation of journalists with a particular focus on diversity. We are proud to support a number of cohort groups at this conference, all of which have had an expense-paid trip here. Thanks to Google's support for the 9th year in a row, we have another stellar group of students producing stories at the conference. 20 students from universities across the globe are producing content for the Student Newsroom and Innovation Lab, which again this year has a special emphasis on product development. Joining their work, thanks to the Knight Foundation, 5 students from historically Black colleges and universities are in our HBCU Digital Media Fellowship. We're also pleased to welcome 4 digital journalists who specialize in mobile and social reporting to our next class of CNN Diversity Fellows. Thanks again to the support of CNN for the 4th year in a row. And they are joined by our MJ Baer Fellows, all standouts under 30, pushing projects and the boundaries of storytelling in memory of ONA founding member MJ Baer, who started our very first fellowship program. Now, we also have another extraordinary group of leaders here today, and that's through our Women's Leadership Accelerator program. This dynamic cohort represents over 103 women in digital leadership positions across the industry. In 1 year alone, last year's Accelerator cohort reported major career advancements, including 4 new leadership promotions, 4 major product launches, and 3 who received major grant funding to fund new projects. And that's just one class. We owe a special thanks to lead funder Dow Jones Foundation and 10 other partners in making that program a reality. Applications will be available in the fall for the 2019 program. And finally, there are people in the front row who are literally getting no sleep this week to make sure all of you have the absolute best time here. Please join me in thanking the hardest working staff in show business: Jess, Trevor, Jen, Megan, Adam, Carol, and Diana. And we also have an equally hard-working consulting team that are working behind the scenes to make sure all of our programming and the conferences run smoothly. Thank them as well. All right, now I'm pleased to welcome my partner in digital crime, one of the newest JSK Fellows, and ONA Board President, Mandy Jenkins.
Thank you, Irving, and good morning, everybody. First, let me start by reiterating Irving's thanks to the hardworking staff and consultants, and to Irving himself. It's not easy throwing an event for this many people, but they make it look so cool and easy. They deserve another huge round of applause for making this happen. But they're not alone. There's a lot of people responsible for what all you're going to be experiencing these next 3 days. As you wander the halls, you might see a few people in bright orange t-shirts. You probably see some of them out here in the crowd right now. Those are some of the more than 150 volunteers who are serving as greeters, mentors, bag stuffers, session monitors, and many more. So big thanks to the volunteers out there. And if you've had trouble deciding which session to pick when you're looking through the program book, just because there's way too many good ones to choose from, you can thank our program team, spearheaded by our co-chairs, Emily Ramshaw and Rosenthal Alves. These 20 people put in countless hours to select the amazing sessions that we're going to have over the next 3 days. This committee combed through hundreds of submissions to come up with the program that you guys are going to be seeing. And we must not forget this event would not be made possible without our sponsors and supporters. Please make sure you visit the exhibits in the Midway when it opens today at noon. It's always a great time. And last but not least, I also have the privilege of working with the hardest working board you're ever going to meet. They're up here in the front and they're all over the place. It's been an honor working with them to help guide this great organization. Please give them a hand. Thanks to the board. Now, you heard it mentioned earlier that people plus ideas equal change. And beyond those of you here today, ONA's membership continues to be strong, with more than 3,600 members around the world. And that means the most important people that I have to thank is you, because without you, there is no ONA. So thank you for your support as well. And the membership and the work of our ONA local program, which has community networks now in over 64 cities and 12 countries, we're building a stronger journalism community. I'm also pleased our international footprint is growing, with over 300 attendees this year coming from outside the US, and they're representing countries from all over the world, including people who came all the way from New Zealand and Japan. Okay, go ahead, apply, why not? And today it's my pleasure to announce a brand new member benefit. You heard it here first. While we've had a long history of archiving conference and programming content on our website, thanks to a partnership with Ali Interactive, soon you're going to have even easier access to video, audio, and more from 6 annual ONA conferences, 4 international conferences, and additional ONA programs, including our first training module based on lessons learned from the Journalism Mentorship Collaborative. In our new resources center at journalist.org/resources, you'll be able to create your own do-it-yourself training programs in areas such as product, audience engagement, and revenue. So currently, content from ONA 17 and 16 are available, and additional programming is going to be available there in the near future. So I highly encourage you guys to check that out. It's up online right now. And in addition to training, ONA is on the forefront with our partners to defend the First Amendment and fight misinformation. In our partnership with the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press, we supported the Sun Sentinel against contempt proceedings for publishing information regarding the Parkland shooter that was improperly redacted by the Broward County School Board. We also joined with other news organizations to support an emergency petition by the LA Times to overturn a federal district court order that had required it to remove information from a published article, which was a pretty unusual act of prior restraint. And after that petition was filed, the district court actually reversed itself and vacated that prior restraint. So that's one of the wins. Yeah, why not? And earlier this year, ONA joined the Global Council to build trust in media and fight misinformation. This council aims to unite the global journalism industry in addressing misinformation by facilitating alignment and coordination. And there's absolutely no better display of the First Amendment at work than in the richness of the Online Journalism Award finalists. I hope that many of you are going to join us on Saturday night to celebrate excellence in digital journalism with our MC, executive producer of the 21st, Naila Boudou. And now it's time to introduce our first featured speaker of the conference.